This is the story of how just one match at the home of cricket has helped communities 5,500 miles away to rebuild lives, rehouse the homeless, empower the disabled, provide medical care, training and education, improve cricket facilities, and inspire a whole new generation of young cricketers. It's the story of remarkable people of vision.
I just could not believe that this village could be put back to where it was. And as I keep saying, the waves of compassion overpowered the waves of destruction.
And ordinary people of courage. And it's the story of how cricket and the spirit of the game can make a difference. Boxing Day 2004. The first wave hit at about 9:30 that Sunday morning, bringing devastation to a country utterly unprepared for such a disaster, and with little or no means of coping with the aftermath. Entire communities were decimated, hundreds of thousands made homeless, and over 40,000 Sri Lankans lost their lives.
Time is getting shorter. There's much for you to do. Only ask and you will get what you are doing. The rest is up to you.
Countries and organisations across the world reacted swiftly with offers of money and support. M.C.C. decided the best way it could help was, naturally, through cricket.
It was such a tragic event and so much loss of human life and the need to rebuild Sri Lanka and the tsunami hit areas, and the club felt that one of the ways that it could do that was to host a match at the home of cricket, and we were very fortunate to get major international stars coming to the ground and giving of their time. Many of the members who gave of their time and the public really supported it, and we raised over £650,000. Now, having been here, I can see what the fantastic results that have come from that.
Now, very nearly 3 years later, Sri Lanka is recovering well. There are still many reminders of that dreadful day, including the train in which 1,200 people died, now a poignant memorial at Hikkaduwa station. But with worldwide help, the people have been rebuilding their lives. And with the returning tourists, the beach resorts, shops, businesses and houses have begun to return to normal. The £650,000 raised by MCC's match has funded several remarkable projects, and Keith Bradshaw, together with MCC President Mike Brearley and other senior MCC officers and members, came to the southwest coast of Sri Lanka to see what that money has accomplished. Sinigama, a coastal village about 60 miles south of Colombo. This is the headquarters of the Foundation of Goodness, a charity set up in his family's home by local elder and businessman Kushil Gunasekara.
I was very fortunate to go to a premier school in Colombo and have all the facilities and exposure. So my heart, vowed one day that compassionately I'm going to do the same thing in this village. So we started 7 years before the tsunami, empowering better opportunities to the rural, disadvantaged children and youth. And then the journey began. But on the 26th of December 2004, I was here at the time. The waves invaded the village and it was all in ruin, what we had done at the time. So we started to rebuild. I never thought this setback could be turned into a huge blessing.
The tsunami destroyed everything.
And as you see, it's about 12 feet in height. That's where the water settled for about 10 to 15 minutes. And the entire village was submerged. And it was like living under the sea. And I can't even imagine how far we have come since then, because I think the waves of compassion overpowered the waves of destruction.
MCC decided that nearly half the fund should go to the Hikkaduwa area, partly to help Kushil build a new centre of excellence to help the people of the surrounding villages rebuild their lives, and partly to create a new cricket ground for the local state college. 30 months later, it's time for the grand opening of the MCC Centre of Excellence. and the club's president, Mike Brearley, together with senior colleagues, is welcomed by the community.
I would like to say, on behalf of the MCC, thank you for using what we've been able to offer in such a magnificent way, and we look forward very much to the rest of the day.
Following the ceremonies, the dignitaries are taken on a tour of the centre. In the gardens, preschool children offer a celebratory song. The Computer Training Centre offers IT knowledge and facilities. Classrooms teach English and business skills. There's an enterprise centre training women in work and life skills. And there's a brand new medical centre offering free treatment to the people of Sinigama and 20 surrounding villages.
The Rainbow Clinic treats 1,000 patients a month, and it has a general Medicare section, pediatric, dental clinic, a Medilab, a pharmacy. On an average, we see about 50 to 70 patients sometimes a day.
Mike Brearley was very impressed with the centre.
The MCC's heartwarmed at Kushil's project, his vision, how many things have come to fruition now, and it's moving to see so many things available for villages that weren't available before. The MCC is delighted that we've been able to help, and we're very touched by what we see.
A short distance away from the Centre of Excellence is Sri Sumangala College, a state-run school for 1,600 pupils. This used to be an earth and gravel playground where they'd been trying to grow grass for half a century. Now, with the help and expertise of MCC, this magnificent new cricket ground, including a pavilion and indoor nets, has been created to inspire a new generation of young Sri Lankan cricketers. Either side of this celebratory opening day, MCC also held a special Spirit of Cricket Challenge camp. 120 children from local primary schools have gathered to receive MCC coaching and a fun introduction to the game.
MCC Spirit of Cricket, we've been going in the UK for about 8 years now, and we've brought it to Sri Lanka to tie in with the test match. And what you see behind you is a lot of children from state schools who wouldn't have had this opportunity otherwise, and they're having a marvellous time, as you can see.
The MCC Spirit of Cricket Challenge has been running for a number of years in the UK, and this is the first time that we have brought it overseas, and it was fantastic to see 120 youngsters participating in a 3-day camp.
It's absolutely fabulous to see how much the kids are enjoying this. Really happy faces, clapping and cheering one another. They really appreciate the coaching they're getting and the equipment that we've brought over because of the MCC from the UK.
Today, to have wandered around and participated with them and watched them, they really are passionate about their cricket and talented, I must say. There's some very good leg spinners, some good batters, and I'm sure we'll see some of them in the Test arena at some point in the future.
England cricketers Ian Bell and Graham Swan joined in as well and offered some tips, although it seemed not many were required.
We've been showed up, to be honest. We turned up expecting to have to go easy on them, but thankfully they went easy on us in the end because they were just too good for us.
It was amazing to see some 10-year-old kids with the enthusiasm and the actual natural ability. It was incredible, really, to actually come here and do that. It's pretty special, really.
I think the MCC Spirit of Cricket Challenge is an exciting and fantastic project, and over here in Sri Lanka especially, it's given these kids the chance to have cricket as something that gives them a normal life again and provides them with an opportunity that otherwise they wouldn't have had, and I think that's fantastic. And the work they do in England is also superb, so if so many people around the world can benefit from this, then the MCC Spirit of Cricket Challenge is obviously a very, very good thing.
The MCC delegation then arrived and were paraded up the driveway by local children and college students. Mike Brearley performed the opening ceremonies and faced the first delivery on the brand new pitch. The MCC secretary awarded 10 scholarships to promising young cricketers. This will provide financial assistance for one-on-one coaching and new equipment. One of the highlights of the day was a special inaugural 2020 cricket match between an MCC 11, captained by Keith Bradshaw, and a Foundation of Goodness 11, captained by Kushil. An astonishing 2,500 people, what seemed like most of the community, turned up to watch, and they're in festive mood.
Picks it up nicely. And,
While the game was on, we spoke to some of the people involved with the MCC initiative. Tom Seabrook has been a member of the club for 40 years and has coordinated the spending of the fund in Sri Lanka.
I was introduced to Kushil by one of our Sri Lankan trustees, who's a great friend of his. And I felt that of all the charities that we saw, he was outstandingly the best, and therefore the most deserving of our support. And so whilst we did, about half of the money went to Kushil Centre of Excellence, the MCC Centre of Excellence, and all the substructure you've seen there, we're also keen to involve the community with cricket.
And this will, I think, enable lots of children from the south, from villages, from small towns, without any privileges, non-fee paying school, will get the opportunity to play cricket properly.
And that all started only 12 months ago to the day. So what you're seeing today with the cricket field, with the indoor nets, has all happened in the last 12 months.
To find the projects, to make sure they're properly organised and the money goes to in the right way, to have all the buildings done, I think it's a remarkable achievement.
It's going to be a great thing for the children here, the local community. They need more cricket grounds, and obviously a tragic event has turned into something positive for the community, and we're all absolutely delighted.
It's a great event where I see a smile in kids' faces, which means a lot to me, and I think when I was asked to come and get involved in it, I just put my hand up and said yes.
The welcome that we have received as part of MCC has been, I just haven't experienced anything like it. It has been truly amazing and heartfelt and warmth, and if I can communicate half of that to the members, they can all be very proud, and we've just been so appreciated.
The game is going ahead in pouring rain, but we'll just keep going. The spirit of the day has been incredible.
The match was a great success, despite the rain, and it was won by Kushil's team. The cricketers received a memorial trophy. And then Keith, Tom and Kushil unveiled the commemorative plaque.
I can't describe the amazing feeling having played on this ground, which is historic indeed. And I cannot thank enough and express my words towards the Marylebone Cricket Club for making all this happen. What a lovely day.
The following day, Keith Bradshaw went to visit some of the other places that have received money from the MCC Tsunami Fund. £200,000 was granted to the Leonard Cheshire organisation, which operates all over Sri Lanka.
We felt it was very important to spread the money across a number of different organisations and charities, and Leonard Cheshire was one also that we felt was deserving. It's an organisation that focuses very much on children and adults with disabilities, and to go to that centre and to see the work that they were doing was probably the most moving part of this whole trip.
We started this centre to provide support and services to disabled community in this area.
We saw young children with a variety of physical disabilities, adults with disabilities, and saw the way in which the centre was able to help them through training of mothers and carers, prosthetic limbs, wheelchairs, providing access to the houses.
Money from the MCC helped us to develop this centre in the initial stage to rent this office and make the renovations and make the place accessible. As you can see, there are disabled and non-disabled children doing some activities together. So this helps able-bodied children to understand about the disability issues or about their disabled peers, and same time disabled children to get a chance to work with or to be with the able-bodied children. So this whole idea is the inclusion of disabled children into the mainstream.
We're also very lucky and privileged to be invited into some of the homes of the children and to see firsthand how effective and how well utilised that money had been, and what a difference it had made not only to the children's lives but to the carers' lives as well.
Good? Yeah, I like it.
Rohan is 26. A year ago, he lost his right leg in a tuk-tuk accident. Leonard Cheshire fitted him with an artificial leg and helped him with finding a job. He's now married and runs this vegetable stall in a prime spot near Hikkaduwa station.
And maybe some limes as well.
He makes a profit of 15,000 rupees a month, about £70, and is hoping to start another stall that his wife can run. All along this stretch of coast, the grim reminders of the tsunami are everywhere. Houses and buildings devastated by the waves, and thousands made homeless. The Red Cross in Sri Lanka has a huge house building scheme, and MCC felt that £100,000 should go to help that programme.
The Red Cross here have built 16,000 homes, which is absolutely amazing. So for us to be able to contribute in some way to that, I'm sure would make the members feel very proud, and to see some of those houses, to be invited into the people's homes, to talk to them, and to see once again the very tangible outcomes and the difference that it's made to their lives really does show how well appreciated the money has been.
The tsunami basically destroyed over 100,000 houses. The Red Cross is the biggest donor to the housing program in the country, but it's a huge undertaking. I mean, pre-tsunami, the government was only building about 5,000 houses in its public housing program each year. So as you can imagine, it's a huge task. The MCC's contribution has made a big difference, because £100,000 in Sri Lanka goes a very long way. These houses, each house costs about £4,000 to build. So that's a lot of houses, but it's more than just the houses, because we're putting in infrastructure here, we're putting in water supply, we're putting in electricity, and we're also running livelihoods programs. Now, a livelihoods program is really aimed at helping individuals and families to get back on their feet economically.
There you are.
The cinema project we're going to see is based around one individual who's quite a local entrepreneur, in that he used to have a cinnamon distillation process pre-tsunami, but the tsunami basically wrecked all his vats, which is where you put all the leaves. They're then distilled and you produce cinnamon oil. So that was his main livelihood. But with Red Cross funding, he's been able to restore and rehabilitate his vats, but also we've been able to give him more advanced training in distillation processes and also how to market his products.
The following day was the first day of the final test match between England and Sri Lanka at Galle. Galle was among many people's favourite cricket grounds, but it was completely overrun by the tsunami. The remaining part of MCC's fund, £41,000, was given to the rebuilding of the ground, particularly the new media centre. And there was a final highlight to the story at lunchtime on the first day.
As a fitting finale for the children that participated in the Spirit of Cricket camp, it was wonderful to see them participating during the lunchtime entertainment at the test match in Galle. So for them to be able to run out onto the ground and play in front of a local crowd who cheered them on and were very enthusiastic, I'm sure it's something those boys and girls will remember for the rest of their lives. And I'll certainly remember that picture too, and the smiles on their faces, and demonstrating and kitted out in the spirit of cricket and Sri Lankan gear. It really was a special moment.
Time is getting shorter, there's much for you to do. Only ask and you will get what you are needing. The rest is up to you. Plant your love and let it grow.